In the 1890s, Fatso and Thin Man performed in circuses, captivating audiences with their contrasting physiques. Behind the scenes, their act hid a dark reality. Fatso endured extreme dieting, while Thin Man faced pressure to maintain an emaciated appearance, both suffering physical and mental tolls from societal expectations. In April 2014, Dutch travelers Chris Kremers and Lisan Froon disappeared while hiking in Panama. After weeks of searching, their belongings were found, including phones with failed emergency call attempts and eerie photos. Months later, their remains were discovered, but the circumstances of their deaths remain a mystery. This CT scan shows the moment doctors found a stone baby inside the womb of a 73-year-old woman from Algeria. The stone baby, also known as a lithopedion, is created when a pregnancy forms in the abdomen rather than in the uterus. When the pregnancy fails, the body lacks a mechanism to naturally expel it. Consequently, the body undergoes a process of calcification, essentially turning the fetus into a stone, utilizing the immune process designed to protect against any foreign objects detected in a person's system. 5 mind-blowing scary facts you won't believe are true. Part 2. Squeezing someone's testicles very tightly can have roughly the same effect as using an EpiPen, but I wouldn't suggest doing this because it could also kill them. Your body is the weakest from 3 to 4 a.m., making this the time when most people die in their sleep. Jeffrey Dahmer refused to eat people with tattoos because he said the ink made the flesh taste weird. Maybe you stay safe by getting inked. Japanese Unit 731 conducted heinous experiments on humans during World War II. The Bunny Man is an urban legend of a man in a rabbit costume terrorizing people. In 1969, Sharon Tate, pregnant at the time, displayed baby clothes she purchased in London, UK. Tragically, Tate, along with others, was murdered by the Manson family later that year. The poignant moment contrasts with the horrific fate that awaited her. Scary, morbid facts about the Zodiac Killer, Part 1. The Zodiac Killer is an unidentified serial killer who terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The Zodiac claimed to have killed 37 people, though only 5 confirmed victims are linked to him. His confirmed victims include 2 women and 3 men, ranging in age from 16 to 29. The first known victims, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, were shot on December 20th, 1968. The Zodiac Killer sent taunting letters to newspapers, bragging about his crimes and threatening further violence. In 2008, Asia LeSean Ferguson, age 17, tragically died at Six Flags Over Georgia. Ignoring warning signs, he entered a restricted area to retrieve a hat and was decapitated by the Batman roller coaster. The ride, traveling at 50 miles per hour, struck him, resulting in an instant and gruesome death. In 1936, Zen monks at Asakusa Temple, Tokyo, practiced air raid drills with gas masks amid rising tensions. This unusual sight reflects Japan's preparation for potential conflicts and the impact of militarization on all aspects of society, even religious practices. In 2008, Ricky Simons, a man suspected of serial offing, was found deceased from heat stroke inside the trunk of his ex-girlfriend's car. It is believed that Simons intended to harm or off his girlfriend, Donna Miller, by hiding in the trunk, but he inadvertently became trapped and succumbed to the heat. At the time of his death, police wanted to question Simons about the disappearance of Jamie Fraley, who vanished in 2008 and has not been seen since. Simons became a person of interest due to his criminal record, which included a manslaughter conviction for strangling a girlfriend in the 1980s. The rap game had an unsettling shift from Tupac's gritty stories of struggle and survival to an increasing preoccupation with death, violence, and nihilism. Modern rap often glorifies morbidity, with lyrics depicting graphic scenes of murder, drug abuse, and despair. This dark evolution mirrors societal issues, mental health crises, and a desensitization to violence, reflecting a culture where the macabre becomes mainstream and the lines between art and horror blur disturbingly. Dolly Parton, the iconic country singer, humorously entered a Dolly Parton look-alike contest in Los Angeles incognito. To her surprise, she didn't win. A drag queen took the prize. Parton's lighthearted approach to fame reflects her down-to-earth personality and sense of humor. Just before lethal hypothermia, a person will sometimes undress themselves because they perceive themselves to be burning up when indeed they are freezing. Paradoxical undressing. Consequently, people frozen to death are sometimes found naked and misidentified as a victim of a violent crime. Surveillance footage from a bank in 2021 captured the moment when Courtney Richmond, 26, pushed 82-year-old Mayra Coutinho Lopez to the ground after a confrontation. The altercation began when Lopez, who had Alzheimer's disease, argued with a bank teller because she had forgotten that she had already withdrawn money 3 days prior. This led to a long queue forming behind her. In May 2024, Richmond received a sentence of 16 months imprisonment, suspended for 21 months. She was also ordered to undergo rehabilitation for between 15 to 25 days and complete 180 hours of unpaid work. Bizarre laws from around the world that will blow your mind. In Saudi Arabia, witchcraft and sorcery are punishable by death. In North Korea, watching foreign films can result in execution. In ancient Rome, the decimation practice meant every 10th soldier in a disgraced unit was beaten to death by their comrades. In 17th century Russia, anyone who stole a neighbor's chicken could be executed. And in medieval Europe, being caught as a werewolf could lead to being burned alive. Sophie Lyonnais, a young French woman, was murdered in 2017 by a British couple who tortured her for days in their London home, believing she had stolen from them. They eventually killed her, then attempted to dispose of her body by burning it in a bonfire. The gruesome crime was discovered when neighbors reported the foul smell, leading to the couple's arrest and conviction. Terrifying body cam footage captured the harrowing moment when police officer Randall Kirk frantically runs for his life while being shot at by armed gunmen during the Wiambilla shootings. The Wiambilla shootings was a religiously motivated attack that took place on December 12, 2022 in Australia. Constables Matthew Arnold and Rachel McCrow, along with neighbor Alan Dare, were tragically killed at the remote property in Wiambilla by the 3 residents, brothers Gareth and Nathaniel Train, and Gareth's wife, Stacey Train. The perpetrators were later shot and killed by Queensland police. The 2 surviving constables were Randall Kirk and Keely Bro. Belle Gunnis, a Norwegian-American serial offer, earned her morbid reputation by luring victims to her Indiana farm, where they mysteriously disappeared. Under the guise of seeking marriage, Gunnis offed numerous men for their money, as well as her own children. After a fire in 1908 revealed the remains of over 40 victims buried on her property, Gunnis vanished. Though a headless body was found, many believe she faked her death and escaped. Her chilling methods of poisoning, dismemberment, and burial make her one of the most terrifying female serial offers in U.S. history. Jeremiah Clarke was a British composer who couldn't decide whether to take his own life by drowning or clanging himself, so he flipped a coin. The coin landed on its edge in the mud, so he went home and pot himself instead. Oksana Malaya, neglected by alcoholic parents, sought refuge with wild dogs at age 3. When she was rescued at age 8, her behavior mirrored that of dogs. She was hospitalized and underwent specialized therapy to learn human behaviors. Despite working on a farm, she retained some intellectual impairment. This viral video reveals an eerie scene at what seems to be an almost deserted airport, reportedly in Phuket, Thailand. As the camera zooms in on an airplane gangway, shadowy figures are seen running along it. Strangely, there's no plane nearby, and the gangway hangs, suspended, attached to nothing. The origin of these figures, which look like passengers, remains a mystery. Some speculate they may be the lost souls from the 2007 plane crash. Prepare to be spooked by these morbid facts about Michael Jackson's life. Neverland Ranch had a secret room behind a closet, only accessible by Michael's bedroom. Michael Jackson's doctor, Conrad Murray, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter for administering a lethal dose of propofol. British man Andrew Haigh was sentenced to life in prison after beating his 50-year-old neighbor to death with a bag of Pokemon cards. The two had gotten into an argument after Haigh's neighbor accused him of being a pedophile. In Pripyat, within the Chernobyl exclusion zone, abandoned gas masks scattered on a school floor tell a haunting tale of the 1986 nuclear disaster. Frozen in time, these relics bear witness to the abrupt evacuation, leaving behind a chilling reminder of the tragedy's impact on daily life. The mystery of Al Capone's vaults was a highly anticipated 2-hour live American television special that was broadcasted in syndication on April 21, 1986, and hosted by Geraldo Rivera. It centered on the live opening of a walled-off underground room in the Lexington Hotel in Chicago, once owned by Al Capone, which turned out to be empty except for debris.